Good morning and welcome to the Front Office Podcast. I am your host, Marcus Cameron, and today is our very first episode of WTF Wednesday. What the fuck Wednesdays? It's a segment that I'm been kind of thinking about. Haven't really wanted to do it just because I'm really big on respect and not disrespecting people or anything like that. But at the same time, you got to give the people what they want. So I want to use this episode. We'll do it every Wednesday to kind of air out our grievances, whatever we're feeling, just some shit that just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. All right, so first up, Coach Mike Tomlin of the Pittsburgh Steelers, black head coach. That doesn't matter. Just, I like to make sure I let people know he's black. Been an outstanding coach for a long time. Hasn't had a losing season since he's been a head coach. He used to be a defensive coordinator for the Minnesota Vikings. Really good coordinator. Very good coach, has his players' ear, very smart. My issue with Mike Tomlin is this.
Anyone?
Mike, you have a year left on your contract.
Hey.
Now, I know some of you going to look at it and be like, well, why are you mad that he walked off from a press conference, Marcus? Like, that ain't really nothing to be mad about. Well, here's the problem with that. Everybody in that room has a job to do, okay? Everybody in that room has a job to do. The press has a job to ask questions. Sometimes the questions aren't good. Okay, you still got to sit there and answer the questions. You make $12.5 million per year. You mean to tell me that you couldn't have found a way to say, I'm not answering that question right now. Can we move to the next question? No, this dude just literally leaves up out the fucking interview like he Usain Bolt. It pissed me off because I'm big on respect. And I just feel like whoever that reporter is, that just shows no respect. He does it a lot. It's an air of arrogance about him. I know something in your contract says that you're supposed to answer media questions. I know it's something. And you don't have enough Super Bowl rings to be acting like that. You got one. You got one. You know what I mean? Excuse me. So just maybe let's tone down the arrogance. Maybe act like we got a fucking brain and just respond to the fucking questions. All right. Next person, Mr. Stephen Jackson. Stephen Jackson is a different one because I actually like Stephen Jackson. I liked him as a player. I love the show with Matt Barnes, All the Smoke. They've had great guests on there. I think they're one of the players who've actually really pioneered the whole new media podcast type era, and their show is great. It's a great show. It really is. Stephen Jackson, you can't discredit him as a player. During the whole George Floyd incident, rest in peace to George Floyd, he was instrumental in making sure that was brought to the public and really out front so everybody could see it, and shout out to him for that. Here's my issue with Stephen Jackson. If you go to YouTube, I'm not going to put it on here because it's not my particular video, but he was on live about a week ago after the Cat Williams interview with Shannon Sharp. And apparently, he has an issue with Shannon Sharp. No surprise. He has an issue with a lot of people, but he has an issue with Shannon Sharp in regards to, he kind of hinted towards Shannon Sharp hating on him and Matt Barnes about things. And while he was on live rolling the blunt doing what, this is why we fuck with Jackson. You know what I mean? He's cool. He's real. But while he was on live rolling his blunt, he was very adamant about, we have real relationships with our guests. Every guest that come on here, we have real relationship, and we don't let our guests trash anybody like that. If they supposed to be your homeboys, blah, 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 blah. I call Cap. I call Big Cap on that. The reason why I call Cap on that is because look at this nigga's face while Charles Oakley is disrespecting Isaiah Thomas. Just look at his face. Tell me he don't look like one of them fucking hyenas off the Lion King.
Honey, Ed.
That's crazy, bro. Like, Isaiah Thomas, in that interview, go watch the interview, bro. Like, Isaiah Thomas say he saved your career after you had that bullshit going on. But it's okay for Charles Oakley to get up there and talk shit about Isaiah because you was cracking your damn sides. It was the most funniest thing you've ever heard. That's bullshit, bro. Keep doing what you're doing as far as the podcast, standing up for Black Lives Matter. Keep being you, man, but just cut the cap back a little bit. That's bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, you got a problem with Shannon Sharp. We don't need to fucking know about that. Y'all two black men, you claiming to be Mr. Civil Rights. How about holler at that man? Don't jump on your fucking live where you got millions of people and talk down on the man. That is real contradictory, and like I said, I call cap. You did the same thing with Shaq. You did the same thing with Charles Barkley. Just a little tired of it, bro. Like, just cut the bullshit. Do you? Paul Pierce. No, excuse me. We'll save Paul Pierce for next week. Rashard McCants. Rashard McCants is a former NBA player, 5 years. Great player at the University of North Carolina. Highly recruited. Won a national championship. Without a doubt, a baller. So everybody knows about the whole Stephen A. Smith and Jason Whitlock thing. Well, before that really when it got kind of viral, Stephen A. Smith made a statement about Kobe Bryant. Here's the statement.
Gone but never forgotten. But Kobe Bryant is not the second greatest player in NBA history. That's just not true. It's just not. It's just not. And
now y'all tell me, is that really a reason for you to feel like he was disrespecting Kobe's legacy because he doesn't consider him the second best player in the world? That's bullshit, bro. And it sounded like you was looking for attention and clicks and fucking likes. Because how can you have an issue with that, but you had no issue with Dr. Umar Johnson telling Vanessa Bryant, Kobe's wife, how she should spend her fucking money? That ain't got nothing to do with basketball. That's some real personal, you know what I mean, like none of your fucking business type shit. I ain't seen you make a comment. I ain't seen you say nothing about it. You didn't put that on Gilbert's podcast, but you made sure to call Stephen A. name just because he has the opinion that Kobe Bryant is not the second best player in NBA history. That's his fucking opinion, bro. And as far as him not having that same energy when Kobe's alive, I call cap on that bullshit too. Because the one thing I must give Stephen A. credit for, he really don't give a fuck, bro. Like he roasted LeBron when they lost. He roasted LeBron. When they lost to Dallas, he roasted that nigga for a whole summer. Roasted him. Did the same thing to Kobe when he didn't shoot one shot in the second half in a fucking playoff game. So stop acting like somebody can't have a different opinion without it being disrespectful or disrespecting Kobe's legacy. Nobody, especially not that guy, is disrespecting Kobe's legacy or trying to push LeBron past him and make people forget about Kobe. You're a fucking idiot if you think that, because nobody's ever going to forget about Kobe Bryant. He's Kobe Bean fucking Bryant, the Mamba. It doesn't matter if LeBron wins the next 7 championships. People will know who the fuck the Mamba is because of what he did. You fucking idiot. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that, McCants. I'm just saying, like, it's just cap, bro. Like, you know, again, stand on business, man. If you really care about the family and you really care about Kobe's legacy, the people who are really disrespecting it, go after them. Use that platform that you on right now that you got millions of listeners for and go after them. Don't get mad because somebody got a different opinion than you. People got different opinions than me all the fucking time. You know what I mean? Like, all the time. I'm not sitting here saying it's disrespectful or anything like that. If you got a different opinion, you got a different opinion. But, and, you know, heads up, I don't have Kobe Bryant as the second best player ever all time either. So by all means, you can come after me. But again, maybe you should look at the motherfuckers who's actually disrespecting Kobe's legacy. All right. That's it for WTF Wednesday, man. I'm going to try to make this a little bit interesting, chop it up a good bit so y'all can enjoy it, man. New episode of the Front Office Podcast will be published on Friday. Peace.